Let me tell you about the one-day project that turned out medium at best, but made me proud, relaxed and happy as hell. Let's have a look how, in a few easy steps, I got from this to this. Let's go. So as usual, I was very bored with the current project and I wanted really to do something else. Techno Priest. Why not? My initial thought here was that I will do most of the job and the biggest parts with the airbrush. If you don't have one, I really recommend it. It will save you a lot of time once you get used to it. The usual recipe as always then. A black primer followed up with a black Vallejo undercoat. And then there was the grey ink and the white ink with a Zenithal. And I don't usually do those steps, but if you want to get as much vibrancy as possible from your inks or paints, those are really necessary, a white or grey undercoat. So I started with the base, and initially I thought that it would make a lot of sense to do it this way, to spray some greens and yellows on it, and then afterwards put some paste, Agrellan Earth to be exact. After the base was done, and I mean after the base was sprayed with the inks, I put on it a little bit of masking tape. And I went in for the cloak. 2 types of red inks and 2 purple ones. So I started with the most vibrant red and I sprayed it over all of the zenithal places, the ones that were zenithal with a white ink. Next was the darker red in the grey areas, and both of the purple inks for the shadows. Getting back to the paste, I took the masking tape off, and as mentioned previously, I put some texture paste on it, Agrellan Earth. And I always thought that if you put a thick layer of it and it will dry, then it should leave very big visible cracks. And this is supposed to be quite the opposite to putting a thin layer of it on, which should result in a thin layer with very small cracks. As it turned out, I did something wrong, or the base was old. Who cares? One thing guys, if you're watching this video, then please don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel. It is a very small thing to you, but it means the world to me. This is the fuel I need to get other projects working. Thank you. My first plan was to do all of the metallics as NMM, but then this would not be a quick run. TMM then, dark silver and dark gold, followed by 2 layers of Nuln oil. After that, some dur aluminium, or however you say it, and a brighter gold for the highlights and some spots, and the edges of course. The next thing was edge highlighting the models and giving a base layer on the leather parts. Then I went for a white ink to put it on all of the future glowy bits, if you know what I mean. A little bit here and there, some edges and some spots next to the plasma gun. Then the leather parts got some edge highlights and some washes. And the smaller glowy elements a dip of a green ink. Now it was time for some fun, let's do the OSL. And sorry guys, I think that I will never get it right, but the model is very often out of focus and out of the frame. I'm really sorry for that. So I sprayed some white ink next to the gun and a little bit on the model, everywhere where I thought the OSL light would be. Then I followed it up with a green ink, with a really vibrant green ink, on the plasma gun and the previously mentioned spots, even some extra in a few points. I finished it all up with a little bit of darker green paint for contrast. A few yellow edge highlights for the gold, and some light blue-grey edge highlights for the metallics. Some finishing touches, and the model was done after a matte varnish. Let's see it. Let me tell you this model was so much fun. I know it isn't great, but who cares? It is my model and I am supposed to have fun with it. And I did, as well as you should with all of your models. It doesn't matter how they come out. He was started at 5 PM and finished at 11 PM. 6 hours of pure fun. A very simple yet I think effective design. Very nice tabletop model. And this is something I need to do more often. As I did in the past, focus a little bit more on time efficiency. How to get the most out of the model in the least amount of time. So, what do you think, guys? A comment is as always really appreciated. Thanks a lot for joining me today. You are all super spectacular and I really mean it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give a like, give a share, leave a comment. Have a look at my Patreon and Instagram. Links to both of them will be in the video description, as well as to a free Discord channel, which I visit every day. Take care, guys, and see you in the next one. And don't forget, the Emperor protects.